short for anti-fascist, pegs themselves as peaceful activists. But in reality, many of these masked protesters are just thugs, searching out violence against anybody who disagrees with their beliefs. And the violence that swept last weekend's rally in Portland, Oregon, is just the latest example.
No! Knock the off now! Leave it.
And Antifa doesn't stop at attacking peaceful protesters and police officers. They're also threatening journalists.
Out! Go out!
Touch me?
Out! Out!
Why?
Let's get out of here. Seriously, get the out of here. They live like their politics. I am not. Phone, huh? Tough guy.
You believe what they say, though? You really believe them?
So, like, I mean,
That's
do
naive.
what?
well, by the same token,
That's naive.
Why would I? Wow. I'm not a tough guy. I'm a journalist.
you know what?
I'm not making a joke out of it, though. This is my life.
Get going out of here.
Different.
Anything that has ever happened or ever existed.
The journalist in that video is Tim Pool, who's been covering protests around the world for years, and he joins me now. Well, I want everybody to know that I've been following you for a long time on Twitter because you were going through these Occupy Wall Street people back in the day. You know, you've done the Ferguson beat when they were rioting and shooting, and now you're embedded with these Antifa people, so you know the drill here on the streets. Why are they going after journalists specifically? Because most protest movements want the publicity.
Yeah, they don't want publicity. They want propaganda. So during Occupy Wall Street, for instance, they actually called themselves propagandists. And that's not me, accusing them of doing something. They actually said that they had a propaganda unit that would put this stuff together.
And what is the message that they're trying to convey?
It's a bit fractured, I guess. Basically, I think the one thing they all agree on is taking down the U.S. One of the things we saw them chanting in Berkeley was no Trump, no wall, no USA at all. Wow. But you've got communists.
So they're open borders people too.
Oh, totally. I think they're all pretty much globalists.
Okay.
They're I think they're mostly communists. There's communists, socialists, and anarchists. And I think when it comes to the violence, everyone always says they're anarchist extremists, but anarchists tend to be nonviolent, right? They have the non-aggression principle.
Okay.
So there are some anarchists which paradoxically, they will get violent, but it tends to be people who want some kind of workers' revolution in this country.
So you believe they're more communist than anything else?
Yeah.
Okay, and they don't like the United States system of capitalism, and they want to disrupt and cause mayhem and take everything down. So, first of all, they can't fight, because if anybody's seen any videos of these people, they're punched like this, and they kick, and they use sticks. I mean, that's just totally cowardly. They look like they just left their parents' house, and they have a curfew later. When you're embedded in that scene with them, is it scarier than other groups that you've been involved in, Occupy Wall Street or Ferguson people?
Well, a lot of these people are the same people from Occupy Wall Street.
They are.
The same people from the battle in Seattle back in the day.
Yeah.
I'd say they're mostly younger people.
They're like WTO protesters, those kind of people?
Yeah. They used to chant anticapitalista.
What does that mean?
It means anti-capitalist.
Okay.
Now they chant antifascista.
Okay.
But some of these people, they know who I am. They don't like me because they've actually approached me and told me to not film them breaking the law and only film the police when the police attack them.
Wow.
When I refused to do that, they actually threatened me.
So they are a propaganda outlet.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And have they ever gone after you personally?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I've been physically attacked several times. In Berkeley, they started posting information about me, and they make things up, really outrageous things, claiming that I stole $80,000 from Occupy Wall Street. Things are just ridiculously
So they're
untrue.
smear merchants.
Yeah, and I think the most alarming thing was when they posted photos of me, they included a picture of my mom.
Wow.
And a day before this rally in Berkeley, I actually got approached by a bunch of young men accusing me of being some alt-right Trump supporter, which is absolutely untrue.
Right.
I'm actually pretty liberal, and I almost got into a fight with these guys because they're this fake information they're putting out.
I saw some video, and I want to show the audience. Take a look at this. This is a veteran in a wheelchair who was surrounded by a bunch of Antifa people. Now, he takes the water bottle. Look at that. He takes the water bottle out of the guy's wheelchair and then just pours it on him. Now, this is a disabled veteran who's in a wheelchair. What kind of animals do that? I mean, there's just no shame.
That video shocked me, man. I gotta say.
It's so bad.
I've got people You know, because like I said, I consider myself liberal. I've got a bunch of friends on the left who are telling me, why would I condemn Antifa? And then I just send them a link to that video. If you're going to attack someone in a wheelchair, if you're going to harass an elderly person, you have no sympathy from me.
And they punched female journalists. They've gone after people in wheelchairs. I mean, there's really no end in sight for these people. Now, speaking of condemning Nancy Pelosi, who I don't agree with most of the time, but I actually do agree with her here, put out a statement about Antifa. She said this: "Our democracy has no room for inciting violence or endangering the public, no matter the ideology of those who commit such acts. The violent actions of people calling themselves Antifa in Berkeley this weekend deserve unequivocal condemnation." So if you're a left-wing violent group and Nancy Pelosi condemns you, I think you've gone too far.
But these people, you know, they said
What?
liberals get the bullet too.
Wow.
Yeah, they spray painted it on a wall in Berkeley. That's a known thing amongst.
So they're so far left because you said they're communists. They want to take out people like Pelosi.
They generally don't like liberals as much as they don't like conservatives, and they hate Nazis the most.
Wow. All right, Tim. Thanks a lot, and great reporting out there.
Thanks for having me.